Hello guys, welcome back. Today with another flipping video. I know it's been a long, oh, that lasted long. Welcome to today's video. I'm going to be starting another piece behind me currently that you can't see. And I really wanted to document this one because I think it's going to be a really cool piece when I get done with it. But I do think it's going to be a lot of work. So I'm going to take you guys on this process with me. But hey, behind me, you guys can see it. I have this desk amongst all my other junk in my shed. The shed that's supposed to be for my tack, and it's been taken over by furniture. So anyways, this is the desk that I have that we're going to be working on. It's in really rough shape. I'll get some close-ups of it, but it's in pretty bad condition. It is an old, it was probably a vanity at one time. It probably had a mirror that went with it, but the veneer is like failing pretty bad. So I'm gonna do what I can to fix it and bring it back to life, but I wanted to document it because it's a really cool old piece and I'm gonna do what I can. So this is probably gonna be a challenge for me, but I am gonna start today with taking the hardware off because I want to take it in and clean it. It's pretty rusted, so I don't know how much actual like restoring of it I'll have to do. I might have to resort to like spray painting it, but we'll see. We'll experiment with it, and then I'm gonna just use my wood glue to glue down all the pieces of peeling veneer that I can and save as much of it as I can as well. So yeah, let's get this thing started. All right guys, so here is a little close-up of it. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but some of the veneer is really peeling up pretty badly. This finish along the top, you can see, is really damaged. It's barely even there at this point, so it's failing pretty good. So I'm gonna do, everything that I can to help save this piece and give it some new life, but it's gonna be a rough one. You can see the hardware here is really rusted and corroded, so we're gonna do my best to clean that up as well. So I started by just peeling off the veneer that was like bubbled up and not making contact with the backer board anymore. And I'm just gonna use some wood filler to fill those gaps and holes where the veneer used to lay so that we can make this a smooth surface. And when we paint it over, you won't even be able to tell that the wood filler is there. So you can see there, I just put some wood filler in the top, and then there's these large, gaps on the side here, and I'm going to show you how I go about filling those larger spots in. Next, I'm going to basically show you what I did. So this veneer on the inside of the seating area is almost completely peeling off. So you can see it's not taking me any extra work at all to just pull it off. So I'm going to use my scraper, and I'm just going to get as much of this veneer peeled away as I possibly can. Some spots look like they have been glued in the past, like it started peeling up and somebody tried to glue it back down. So I'm just doing the best I can. It's not going to be perfect, but there's no saving this veneer, so we may as well get rid of it. These larger spots where I peeled the veneer off on the side, I've been using wood filler to fill those in and smooth them out, but it became really hard to squeeze little bits at a time. So I went ahead and just cut this whole tube of wood filler open and just slathered it on there. And I'm gonna use my scraper to smooth it out and make it nice and level, or as level as I can. And then once this wood filler hardens up, I'm just gonna use my sandpaper on the block there and just smooth it out as good as I can. I'm also using the wood filler in these corners. Since I peeled up the veneer, there's still veneer stuck behind these, I don't know, supports on either side. So I'm just using my wood filler in these corners to cover those up and just make it a nice smooth corner that blends nicely, and it'll look a lot nicer when painted and you won't see that gap there. So right here is what I was talking about with the glue. Like somebody tried to re-glue the veneer back down, and I'm just using my little torch here to soften up that old glue so that I can scrape it off and it's not gonna like leave chunks and uneven areas. There was also several spots of like what looked like glue or some sort of hard enamel that somebody dropped all over the top of this piece. And so I'm just using some fingernail polish remover or some acetone to drop on those areas to dissolve whatever glue it is so that I can sand it off. Okay, and once I got all that wood filler sanded smooth, I'm gonna go ahead and put some primer over it. And this is kind of my test run to make sure that it all kind of paints over evenly and you can't tell that, you know, there's wood filler under it. And I think it looked pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and just clean off any surfaces before I primer them and get ready to paint. Okay, so the paint that I'm using on this piece is actually a trim and door paint by Rust-Oleum, and this one was a little bit more on the affordable side. I wasn't gonna spend a lot of money on an expensive paint for this piece because this piece is like, I'm just trying to give it some more life as long as I can because it's in just such rough shape. But honestly, I think the paint looked really good. It was still good quality. It hardened up really well, and so I'm just gonna go ahead and I think I did 3 coats all over this piece. You'll also notice here that I'm just doing a light scuff sand in between my primer and my paint. And this is just to help the paint adhere better to the surface. If you just do a light sanding in between coats, it helps that paint have something to grab on and stick to. All right, guys, after 3 coats of paint and some clear coat all over this piece, it came out so much better than it looked when we started. You know, it's not perfect, but it definitely has some life left in it, and I think somebody is going to snatch up this thing and take care of it for as long as it's gonna live. So if you enjoyed this transformation, make sure to give this video a thumbs up and stay tuned for the next one. Bye.